Holla! It's Friday and we are going live in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Hi everyone, it's Friday. Sending you all the love and positive vibes this week. Hope you had a great week and I hope you're looking forward to the weekend. Firstly, I'd like to welcome another 27 subscribers this week, so that is fantastic. Another 27 seeds we're planting this weekend for our green pledge. So thanks guys and girls. Check out our homepage which explains that, and an even bigger shout out to all of our subscribers. So holla! Right, so what have we been up to this week? Well, we're currently in the middle of a bathroom and we're upgrading a gravity fed system to a high pressure system, which is an unvented cylinder. We touched on this last week. We've installed the cylinder this week. We've pressurized it, tested it. All good. Some tidying up to do and some bits like that, but we're pretty much there with it. And now we shift our focus back into the bathroom, which we started tiling yesterday. It's a 5-week job, this one, so it's quite a big one. We're qualified plumbers, but it's not just the plumbing that we do. We're trained in carpentry, tiling, general building work, pretty much most things, to be fair, in the construction industry. Just like you will be. All you need is time, drive, determination, and you will be legendary. You'll never be a day without work, because you'll just be so busy, which is also it was always a Brucey bonus. Last week I asked you all why we run a 22mm copper pipe directly from the stop tap all the way up to the unvented cylinder, not teeing off anywhere or anything like that. I was really impressed with Mr. Nixon, who gave me this reply, which brings me on to our top 2 comments of the week. So this is Mr. Nixon's reply. You can see I've made a lot of notes on there, so I'll kind of just go through that as we go. So firstly, he put a 22mm cold feet pipe to an unvented cylinder so that there is enough flow at the hot taps, showers, etc. So if you've got 2 showers going at the same time, say they're teed off and 15mm from the cylinder, and you've got a 22mm pipe coming up to the cylinder, it's kind of like share that 22mm pipe between the 2 15mm. So yes, you will have a slight pressure drop when both showers are on, but it's not going to make it pour or anything like that. So that's one of the reasons. There are a couple of reasons which Mr. Nixon does very well to explain. It would also be in the unvented cylinders manufacturer's instructions. Quite right, that's more of a safety point there, but I'll come on to that shortly. As would be what the pressure reducing valve to use as part of the inlet set, line strainer, pressure reducing valve, pressure relief valve, so like the combi valve or multi-block valve as they're called. Some have a connection for a balanced cold and the expansion vessels. Yeah, they do. They're my personal preference. Also should state what pressure / temperature relief valve should be fitted to the cylinder. Now, with this is a very interesting point, because anybody can buy an unvented cylinder. Anybody can, even a customer. But these things are they're literally bombs. If you don't plumb it in right, boom, it's going to go, and it is going to take the roof off. Seriously, YouTube unvented cylinder goes pop or something like that, and you will be amazed how they're pretty serious bits of kit. So the way the manufacturers get around selling them to the general public, because of course that increases their sales, they have to by law come supplied with one safety device on. So that's when the device which they supply and pre-fitted to the cylinder before they sell it is the temperature and pressure relief valve. So they've actually gone one better, so you've got 2 safety valves in one. One's for temperature, one's for pressure. So happy days. Best to check just in case of a mistake at the factory. Yeah, good point. Give it a whirl. Best way to do that really is to fire it up and be on standby and make sure that you've got the safety devices there, and to be able to check it. Hope to see the inlet control or the combi valve set quite high to aid servicing without draining the tank. Absolutely. So if it's high, above the cylinder when you go to take it off, if you need to replace it or maintain it. Obviously the water level of the cylinder's here, the valve's here, whereas if you put it lower than the top of the tank, you take that out, you're going to get loads of water going back up the pipe, and you're going to get wet, and it just saves time as well. So, you know, right, where were we? Maximum of 600 mil from the pressure relief valve to the tundish through the D1 pipework in copper with a downward gradient. Yep, bang on. From bottom of tundish to the first bend is 300 mil. Yep, correct. As the water being released through the temperature and pressure relief valve, which is one the manufacturers come pre-installed, could be 90 degrees plus, should be running copper one pipe size up from the D1, normally 15 mil. That's quite technical. So basically, if you've got the pressure and temperature relief valve blows off, the water coming out there could be like 95 degrees. So you've got to have certain lengths of pipe to kind of cool that down. But we'll go on to all that at a later date. I'm going to do several videos of it. And the video, I'm hoping to go live next week with the actual installation, so you can see it in the real deal. And we can actually talk through it, and you can ask questions, and we can just have a chat, really. That sounds pretty good. D2 pipework should be 22 mil, yeah. Ran externally to the gully or a safe location, so to the drain. It's not condensate, so it might not be a good idea to run in plastic waste pipe as it might melt. Well, funnily enough, the one we have just done is in plastic waste pipe. Perfectly fine, and manufacturer's instructions. But you've got a point. So the temperature and pressure, the temperature of the water coming out, you have to assume worst case scenario is 95 degrees. And the waste pipe, we use 32 mil waste pipe, solvent weld pipe, is rated at 95 degrees. So it really is borderline. Some situations, you would prefer to use copper, but some situations you have no choice. Ours was a really long length, over the 9 meters, and with the elbows we take into account, that reduces the flow. So we had to use 32 mil waste pipe. We've clipped it securely and quite happy with it. And it looks really good, so we'll check it out when we do that video. And that's his comment. So I replied, love it. Love the fact you know about the petitioning, the multi-valve inlet control valve, and you should, and you know that some of them have a balanced main. These are definitely my favourite to fit. So yeah, thanks Mr. Nixon for that comment. That was very informative and brilliant. So good for you. Yeah, the only thing I'd add to that is the safety part. So running a 22 mil cold copper pipe directly from the stop tap all the way to the cylinder without teeing off anywhere is, if there was a problem with the temperature and pressure relief valve and it suddenly blows off, you need to replace that hot water which is coming out with cold water into the cylinder as quickly as possible. So if you've got 15 mil temperature and pressure relief valve that's letting out 95 degree water, 15 mil diameter, then you've got a 22 mil pipe going in and filling the cylinder. That's going to cool it down so much quicker. Whereas if you've got a 15 mil pipe going up from the stop tap to the cylinder, and the 15 mil temperature relief valve going out, it's just too slow, and that's the law. So that's why they state it, one of the main reasons, plus the reasons Mr. Nixon said. So yeah, he really knows his stuff, so good for him. Like, seriously, do you want a job, Mr. Nixon? Do you want a job? You know your stuff. So there's a job offer for you. I hope you're local, or happy to get a private jet or something like that. Okay, so a second comment of the week is from Richard Scott. So shout out to Richard Scott. So cheers, mate. He commented on how to solder copper, secret soldering, and how not to solder. And he put, number one thing is clean, clean, clean. I've once seen someone use their fingers to apply flux and it didn't work out well. Yes, it had pinhole leaks. The oil in your skin will contaminate the solder fitting. I always use a new acid brush on each job. They're not expensive. Also, getting the fitting hot will cause a problem too. So I replied, thanks Richard Scott. Use fingers to apply flux. What on earth? Literally, when I wrote it, I was like, what on earth? Just like that. Does he have any fingers left? Seriously. I'm not surprised it didn't work out, but interesting point about the oil in our skin. I didn't know that one. Although I'm sure kind of, you know, if it's grease and it contaminates the copper pipe and stops the flux touching it, maybe, I don't know. But I think I'll do a bit of research on that. So thanks, Richard Scott, for that. A couple of comments on that one actually is that, yeah, I don't use an old flux brush. They get filthy dirty. Some people like to put them in their toolbox and reuse them to save money. Get it, understand that. But yeah, filthy dirty, they get dust on, and that actually ruins the soldered joint. It stops the flux doing its job, and can make it leak. So, and like you say, they're cheap, so just get a new one. Just get a new one. They're like pence, or probably pounds. This is the way the world's going at the moment. So yeah. Yeah, also you also mentioned getting the fitting too hot will cause a problem too. Yeah, of course it will. If you overheat the joint, the flux basically just burns out, and if there's no flux, the solder's not going to suck in, and you have a problem on your hands. That is never good. So next we are on to our funny story of the week. And it goes like this. Did you know I was going to be a doctor once? I just never had the patience. I can hear you all laughing now. So our next video is out tonight, 7 o'clock, which is soon. So that's interesting. So check that out. It rounds off our pipe bending playlist nicely. So don't forget to like and subscribe and give some positive vibes on that one. Speaking of positive vibes, we've got our positive and motivational speech out this weekend. So let me know if you've heard of any motivational speeches which has inspired you, because I'd love to share this with the nation. So that would be great. Keep an eye out also for our top tip of the week next week. So that will be a nice one. And have a great weekend, guys and girls. And let me hear you say, bum bum. Let me hear you say Friday. Friday. I say, bum bum. Let me hear you say Friday. Friday. Have a great weekend. Until next week.